Hey everyone, how you doing? It's your boy Shaheener coming at you with another episode of the Pokemon Babblers podcast. Of course, as always, joined by Bano over here.
What's up, people? I'm in the mainframe. I have hacked it. I know exactly what's coming out. 2024, we're getting Let's Go Johto. 2025's Unova remakes. 2026 Gen 10, baby.
Oh, Gen 10. Okay, what Pokemon are confirmed? I want to know. Are they going to be working on a new form of Scrafty?
No, actually, what's going
Okay.
on is they're making a waffle Pokemon. This is going to be a straight up waffle. We've gone from house keys to
Oh,
waffle.
that's perfect. That's perfect. That's what I love to see. And so, for this episode, it is season 2, episode 15. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Conquest.
hmm
And so with this game, I don't know how many people have played it that like watches the podcast. I played a little bit. I never got super far into it, but I remember really enjoying it. Did you
I
ever
remember
play it at
when it
all?
came out. No, I
Yeah.
remember looking at all the article stuff for Cerebi for it, like all the updates and stuff, like all the characters and like which Pokemon they had, and I was like, that's really cool. But I wasn't enthralled to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I played a little bit. I had a copy for a little while, and I thought it was fun. But I think with just everything else going on at that point, I was just like, I don't have time for this, and I haven't gone back to it since then. I would like to play it at some point again, but right now it's just like it's not really too much on my radar. But I remember enjoying it. That's for sure. I could definitely say I enjoyed it. But yeah, this game was released on the Nintendo DS in Japan on March 17th of 2012, in North America June 18th, 2012, Australia on June 21st, 2012, and in Europe on July 27th, 2012. It was developed by Tecmo Koei, who is mainly known for like Dynasty Warriors franchise, Dead or Alive franchise, Monster Rancher, and the Neo series, amongst many,
hmm
many others. They're very well-known developer. If you haven't heard of them, then you're living under a rock, basically. And
hmm
so this is a spin-off game between Pokemon and Nobunaga's Ambition, which is a first for the Pokemon franchise. So they haven't done any kind of like collab spin-off games like this before. So it's kind of cool that they actually are willing to lend the IP out to get something made like this.
Right. I think this is like the second time they've referred to war in the Pokemon series.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Lieutenant Surge, I don't remember if he talks about it or if there's like an NPC that talks about him being in the war.
Yeah, he killed
Obviously,
Fitty Man.
this
I
one,
remember.
yeah, this one they talk about. I mean, obviously it's like a Pokemon war between warlords,
Yeah.
and then the last one being X and Y's talk about the Great War, whatever that happened with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so there's a
So,
theory of like with the Great War that happened is that that's why there's so many poison types in Gen 1 is that most of them
mhm,
got contaminated, so that's why you're seeing like the Bulbasaur line is poison or like the Ghastly line is poison, that there's so many that's so oversaturated because of the Great War. And also that
mhm.
Lieutenant Surge killed 50 men.
Killed 50 men.
50
He
men.
brags about it to everybody he does. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of weird that they're like that they base the whole game off this.
Hmm.
And it's not like I don't think they can cover it up, be like, oh yeah, no, you're a warlord and you're just battling Pokemon. No, we're like conquering and taking over villages with this shit.
Yeah, exactly. They're pillaging, they're villaging, they are living
Right.
their best lives. But yeah, so this game is based on the Ronsei region, which is shaped to look like Arceus and is split into 17 kingdoms. And so that's
Mm,
probably due to the fact that there are 17 types, at least at the time.
right.
This was released during the Generation 5 timeline, so this was right before Fairy type was introduced in Gen 6. So, yeah, the development for this game occurred because the Pokemon Company president, Tsunekazu Ishihara, and the Tecmo Koei president, Ko Shibusawa, since they're fans of each other's franchise, they're like, hey, let's collaborate. And that's pretty much like the catalyst that got this all started.
Mm,
And so the gameplay is a turn based strategy game. And so there's up to 6 Pokemon that are positioned on each side for each warrior that you have on your team. And each turn has a player move across the field and attack the opponents with a single move. And the battles are won and lost depending on if the engaging army manages or fails to achieve victory conditions, which varies by the location. So sometimes, like, oh, defeat this enemy in X amount of turns, or like do this certain objective, and that's how you'd win.
mm,
And so after each battle, the warriors and Pokemon will get an increase in their links, which is like an experience. And the Pokemon's moves will also increase when the link increases. So there's 5 different tiers where there's +1, +2, 3, 4, and plus S. And different moves will behave differently when ranked to S, which is kind of like the supercharged move. And that
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon can also evolve depending on their link or with evolutionary items, which we'll talk about in the plot briefly. And so
The
the game uses,
plot.
yeah, the plot. So the game uses a 17 type system for Pokemon. So it's like the rock, paper, scissors stuff that we're used to already. Like fire is good against grass, grass is good against water, etc.
Right.
And the warriors themselves also have warrior skills that can help power up or heal their Pokemon too. So it's not just like the trainers where they're like, or they're just telling the Pokemon to battle. Like they actually have things that are useful too. I guess in a way, kind of like the items in your bag.
Right. There's like a like nod to that. Like I don't. I like I said, I haven't played the game, so I don't know if it's like
Yeah.
get to attack again or like a party heal or like boost defense
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's just like any other strategy game essentially, but just with Pokemon. And so, warriors can also perform actions in their kingdoms, such as like buying items at the shop or mining for gold. But those can only be done once per month, and so it's like you can't like just have them constantly mining for gold the whole time. It's like you'd only ever do that every so often. Or I think you could take them to other kingdoms and they can mine for gold again, but you could only do it once per kingdom per month. I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a multiplayer. So if another person also has the game, then you could challenge their kingdom, or you could challenge their game as well and do a wireless battle.
Was
And
there online multiplayer?
online, I don't no. No, I think the
No.
DS was too undercooked to do that, to say the least. Yeah, I think it was too
That'd have been
underdeveloped.
crazy.
That would have been insane. I think maybe if it was on like 3DS, then they probably could have done it, but DS, I don't think so. Yeah, so there are several more stories that were available to be unlocked via Wi-Fi or by passwords. Same with
That's to
Pokemon
say.
2. Yeah, there's a bunch of Pokemon that could also be unlocked by password too.
Yeah, I was to say, when I was going, back when it was coming out, I remember seeing a lot of stuff like that. Like it was part of like the daily news, like, hey, there's a new Conquest uniform or Conquest warrior available for unlock if you download this password. So I was like, oh, okay, they're
Yeah.
really going all in on this game.
Yeah, they went all out for a while there too, which is great. But I feel like that even then, it's only been like maybe just shy of 12 years at this point since it came out. I feel like most people kind of forgot about it. And the people that do remember it kind of look out back on it like, oh my god, this game was
Right?
amazing. And
Shout out
so,
to the first episode of 2024.
yeah, exactly. Shout out to the first episode recorded in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so also a couple random factoids. So, had this game not existed, the game Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE would have been a Fire Emblem Pokemon crossover instead. And
Oh,
so,
we were robbed.
yeah, we were totally robbed on that one. That would have been so crazy.
Still hope. I mean, Fire
Yeah.
Emblem's still hot, but I don't. Pokemon's
I
made
feel
some
like that
choice
has lost some
decisions.
of its steam since the 3DS games, like
I mean,
Fire
I don't
Emblem
know.
Awakening and
People
all that.
like choke on three houses.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because I remember when it was coming out, like, and I thought it looked cool, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's just like you're in school now," and it's like, okay, but like, is the game good? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Awakening was peak. That really like saved like legit. I'm pretty sure they've even come out, but like Awakening has saved Fire Emblem.
yeah, exactly. I remember hearing that. I remember like when the game came out, like everybody's like, "This game is gonna be a big deal later on."
Right.
So, yeah, then also another random factoid. This is the only spin off game to have Nintendo DSi enhancements as well. Those enhancements, I'm not entirely sure what they are. I tried looking it up and I just, that's pretty much like the general points that I have for the actual game itself. But there's a whole lot of plot that will be going into. Most of it's just pillaging and
So
just,
when you do a turn, do you move all six Pokemon at once, or is it one Pokemon per turn?
I think you move one per turn, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, I don't remember. I could look it
Okay.
up.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like, I'm interested in like the gameplay. I haven't seen it. Obviously, they'll be watching the gameplay, so I don't know exactly how it works.
So yeah, you can move multiple Pokemon in the same turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
are they limited to like how many times they can attack? Is it just one attack per turn?
I think it's one attack per Pokemon per turn.
Okay, so you could like, if it was like defeat this Pokemon in X amount of turns, you could just gang up with all six and kill.
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta have all those Pokemon. You probably have to be further enough in the game to be able to have multiple Pokemon on your team.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's multiple different modes, like battles and stuff like that. But the main story is called The Legend of Ransei. And so, yeah, the legend states that the one who conquers and unites all 17 kingdoms will bring return of the region's creator. So, the player, who we will call Hero just for the sake of pacing, starts it from the Aurora Nation with their starter Eevee after just becoming the most recent warlord. And so they meet Mitsunari, Kiyomasa, and Masanori, who all think that the hero isn't ready to be a warlord. So, two warriors from the Ignis region challenge Hero. Oichi then joins Hero as support, and she tells Hero that of the legend to unite all the 17 kingdoms.
And I'm assuming Oichi is the female player character, or is there only a male
No, she.
character?
So it's hero or heroine, and then
Okay.
Oichi is like a supporting role. She's like your number one supporter, but she is not the heroine.
Okay, so they
She's
didn't
her
pull
own
a
character.
Arceus, and it's like whichever one you don't choose is the supporter.
Yeah, it's not like that, no. But
Okay.
also, I do want to say as well before we go into it, I requested that Bano not look at any of the characters, any of the stuff, because I have something planned for him later on.
Oh no.
So, yeah,
Oh no.
we're gonna try something I think might be a little bit interesting. I had a lot of fun kind of preparing this, so I think that Bono will have some fun with it, or at least I
All
hope.
right. All right, go for it.
So Hiro first challenges Hideyoshi of Ignis, then Motonari of Greenleaf, then Motochika of Fontaine, and along the way, Hiro learns how to recruit the other warlords and link with wild Pokemon. So after that, Hiro conquers Ginchio of Violite, Yoshimoto of Chrysalia, and Yoshihiro of Pugilis. Once those are conquered, Hiro then attempts to battle Kenshin of Terrera and Shingen of Lucio. They state that they will not accept the challenge because they feel that Hiro isn't ready to face them. And the
Cowards.
kingdom that Hiro faced first, or so basically, Hiro goes back to the kingdom that he just battled, and from there, they're basically he has to defend that kingdom because those two enemies, Kenshin and Shingen, go to fight and attack that kingdom. They want to fight back against Hiro.
Hmm.
And so, after defending that nation successfully, Hiro undergoes a warrior transformation, allowing them to change the nation. I forget what that's all about. Anyways, so after defeating either Kenshin or Shingen, they will join Hiro. And once this is done, Nobunaga appears before the player, stating that he is planning on conquering Ransei as well. It's then revealed that Oichi, so the supporting role, is Nobunaga's sister.
Sugoi.
Yeah. So Hiro can now conquer Ujiyashu or Kragspur. Ujiyashu of Kragspur, Masamune of Avia, Nene of Viperia, and Kotaro of Yaksha. Once one of these nations are defeated, Keiji is going to a character named Keiji shows up and gives the hero one of the evolution stones for Eevee, either fire, thunder, or water stone, to allow Eevee if they want it to evolve.
Okay.
Which
So,
obviously you're going to wait and turn it to Glaceon because that's the best one.
say so Umbreon and Espeon are just out.
No, you could get any of them, but like he just gives
Oh.
you the stones just in case you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So after defeating the rest of the warlords, three of Nobunaga's allied nations will show up, and will need to be defeated. So those are No of Spectra, Ieyasu of Valora, and Matsuhide of Nixdom. When they're all defeated, the region of Dragnor appears, where Hiro could finally battle Nobunaga. So he's kind of like the main enemy for you in this game, and he's also the title character. Basically, he's the main
Hmm.
crossover character that they used. So upon defeating Nobunaga, a cutscene plays where several pillars of light shoot out from across the nation and converge on a tower in Dragnor. Upon entering, Arceus will be waiting them and tells the hero to link with them. A battle is then fought against Arceus, and once they win, Nobunaga reveals that he planned for this to happen all along.
Oh, bastard.
Yeah. He wanted Arceus to appear so he could strike it down and prove that the legend is unimportant.
Oh, that dastardly bastard.
So Nobunaga, No Ieyasu, Matsuhide, Hideyoshi, and a Ranmaru all challenge Hiro to a final battle. So you're just getting completely ganged on by all these characters. And so once defeated, Hiro has now brought peace to Ransei, allowing each warlord to rule their respective regions once again. Arceus then leaves and says that they will return once the time is right.
Oh, so you straight up become the Shogun.
You are
Nice.
you are Hokage.
Nice.
So yeah, that's basically
Interesting.
like a general summary of the plot for this game too. And
Interesting.
yeah, It was
That's all I
honestly
can say.
like,
It's very interesting.
yeah, if you like strategy games, I think that you'd probably enjoy this one. I mean, I don't think it was anything that was groundbreaking, but it was definitely enjoyable to say the least. No, this game was really enjoyable. Like I would totally recommend it, and I really want to get back into it soon, but just gotta find time for it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a strategy game than it is like a Pokemon game. So I mean, yeah, it has elements from the Pokemon franchise, and there are the Pokemon characters in the game, but it's
Is
mainly
it kind
based
of
in Nobunaga's ambition, kind of.
do they have issues with like Mystery Dungeon where like some maps are covered in water and only water types can like cross the water?
I don't think they have. I mean, there are parts of the battlefield that'll have stuff like that, but I don't think it's like really a big issue. I think you can kind of work around it.
Okay, because I'm like imagining how the difficulty ramps up going forward, and how they could apply like stuff to like different types. Like if there's like let's say like not hills, but like stuff in the
Mhm.
way in the battle, can flying type Pokemon have the advantage by just flying over those? Obviously, if you're fighting in like a lava level, fire type Pokemon could just walk across the lava, whereas other Pokemon have to take like a longer way around.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be stuff like that as well. Also, I feel like it would have been cool if they had like mega evolutions if this game came out in Gen 6. That would have
Hmm.
been dope, just to like power things up a little bit more.
That would have been cool, and
Yeah.
all the what do you call them, warlords could have had like a mega.
Yeah, and each warlord has different ranks as well. They have a rank of usually one or two. There's some that have up to rank 3, and so their outfit changes. Also, their teams change as well. So they'll have like a basic like starter Pokemon, let's say, and then when you battle them at rank 2, then they'll have like their signature Pokemon, which will be like the best version of their Pokemon, whether it's like an evolution or like a legendary or something like that. So there's a lot of variation to that. I mean, since this game came out during Gen 5, that there's a lot of Gen 5 representation and not as much representation of other generations. So
Mm,
there's a little bit here and there, and of course, once we get into the next thing, you'll kind of get a basic idea for it, I guess. But
okay.
yeah, it's mostly Gen 5 stuff over here. And
Hmm.
so this was like right before Black and White 2 came out, because I believe those came out in 2012.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like right in between all that. So you're not seeing like Black Kyurem and White Kyurem over here.
Oh, I mean, this game came out in 2012,
12. Yeah, so
so
it was right before. It's like a few months before.
a few months before. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because Black and White 2 came out, I believe, in October or November of 2012 for at least the US.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. I'd love to play it
Hmm.
ish. Like I don't
Yeah.
have a draw. Like I'm not pushing people out of the
Yeah.
way to play it. I'd probably give it a chance if they came out with a new one.
Hmm.
But it's kind of like the problem is that you can only tell this type of story so many times before it's the same thing over and over and over
Hmm.
again.
Exactly. And strategy games are just like, it is what it is. Like, if you know the general gist of like how a strategy game plays, you can kind of go through it about the same.
Right.
Especially if you've played a game for the Nobunaga's Ambition series already, because it's been going on for a long time prior to this.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, if you're familiar with anything like that, if you're familiar with like Advance Wars, this is going to be kind of in the same general, like the same genre essentially. So,
Mm.
yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be much different.
Right.
Uh,
It's also like because it's based off of a historical event, you can only
mhm.
tell history so many times before people
Yeah,
get bored.
exactly, exactly. And so, I mean, I don't know if I can really give it a fair rating because I only played it a little bit. I mean, if I were to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. But
I'd give it like an average. Like I'm pretty sure this game is great. I'm pretty sure it
mhm,
has aspects that are great, but I don't think it has anything that's like you have to play it, especially
yeah,
considering it's like a DS game. And I'm not saying that all DS games are bad games, but like if you're looking for like a Fire Emblem Engage or like a Fire Emblem Awakening,
mhm.
it's probably not that.
Yeah, you probably want to go for like 3DS if you want like the full experience. I mean, there's a lot of amazing, amazing DS games, and this
Right.
is one I think that people are going to remember that are like hardcore DS fans. But like for the
Right.
casual player, like they're probably going to forget about this one, or they're probably not going to think about it.
Like its time has passed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of just like it was an interesting thing that they did, and I wish that they did more like crossover stuff like that because it'd be really interesting to see like what kind of franchises the Pokemon world could work with and make it work.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I can't imagine them doing like a Digimon crossover, but but I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
Right.
like yeah, I feel like that they could like do some more spin-offs and make it work or like collaborations because I mean there is one that we'll be talking about in a later episode with Pokken Tournament.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, because there's not that many opportunities for like at least other developers to work on a Pokemon related franchise. Because like the main games, of course, are going to be worked on by Game Freak or by Ilka, I guess.
By Ilka now,
Yeah, by
yeah,
Ilka.
great.
Yeah, but in terms of spin-off games, I feel like that there's more leniency, but there's not that many like spin-off games or franchises that they're keeping alive that are like, not a mobile game.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the mobile games have like stayed alive, but
yeah,
all
because
the like yeah, all the like Switch cartridge or like 3DS spin-off games are just, slowly dying, especially since they're cutting off service for 3DS too, so
that's such a shame. Still a shame. I know we
right.
talked about
I don't
it
know. I
in a
can
recent. Yeah,
kind of see Conquest as a mobile game, especially
yeah,
like
I could
not for the
see
pay,
it,
not
but
for
I
like the
would.
pay stuff, but I mean like for like constant updates.
Yeah,
So like you'd say like there was obviously like the download stuff you could do. I could see it being a lot easier in
mhm.
in a mobile format where like there's like a timed event or like a Christmas event where like Delibirds now available, and then also dress up either the player character or one of the warlords in a different suit, kind of akin to Pokemon Masters, how they do that every so often.
Yeah.
But there's more of a gameplay aspect to this one than there is in Pokemon Masters.
I could totally see them doing this as a mobile game. As much as I would rather them not focus on mobile games, I mean, this would be a game I think that would translate very, very well. Especially because,
Mhm.
like, I feel like that strategy games, like, you can play them in bite-sized bouts and be okay. Because I think that that was what their MO was when it comes to like the mobile games versus what's on a console, or at least when it came to like what games do they make for 3DS versus what games they make for Wii U. And so the Wii U
Mhm.
games are ones that you could like that you sit down, you play for like a couple hours, and you're just like there like all day basically. But
Mhm.
but a 3DS game or like a mobile game, you just play for like 5-10 minutes and you'd be okay. Like you just like go about your day. Like Pokemon Go, you go and you catch a couple Pokemon, you're good. Or like what was it, the Fire Emblem? What was the other mobile game that they dropped for that? I guess, but yeah, I could see
Right.
Nobunaga's Ambition or like a Conquest game be a mobile game.
Mhm.
So, Bono, you ready for
I'm ready for my
your
surprise. Yes.
challenge? It's a
My
challenge, a
challenge.
quiz. I don't think it's gonna be
I
that
feel like I have
difficult.
an idea of it, but go ahead.
So before we go into it, what do you think it's gonna be?
I think you're gonna be asking me to like say which type is associated with which person and their province or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So
Figured.
essentially, what I'm doing over here is what we're going to call
Rain Man over
the
here.
conquest quiz. And so this is so I don't know how this is going to look over the Discord call. So for those that are watching, so on the screen we have all of the warriors or all the warlords with all these Pokemon over here. The warlords are all set up here. With the Pokemon, they are set up by their Pokedex number, but not by what they're associated with. So I want to see if Bono could have these ones matched up and how accurate he could get it. And
Okay, yeah,
so,
knowing nothing about the game.
yeah, knowing nothing about the game. So I'll zoom in a little bit more. And so let's go
Okay.
up here to this guy over here. And so,
Okay.
should I tell you what their names are too as we're going through?
I mean, sure.
Okay. And so, this first character over here, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so that's Hideyoshi of Ignis. So who do you think?
Hideyoshi of Ignis.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
okay.
I'm gonna go out on a really big limb here.
Okay.
I want to zoom in on the character design on Hideyoshi real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Dude looks lanky as fuck. All right.
Yup.
Like this dude does not bulk. All
Uh huh.
right. Some of these people look like they bulk pretty good.
Yeah.
But he does not.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that shade being thrown,
Hmm.
and not to mention he's from Ignis, I'm gonna say he has Infernape.
Okay. He has Infernape. Cool.
Yes.
Let me bring Infernape over to Ignis right over here. Okay. Next up, this
Okay.
character over here is Motonari.
Motonari. Okay. This one on the left, the green guy.
Yeah, correct. That
Can
green
I
guy
get
on
a
the
zoom
left.
in and enhance? Okay. Motonari from
Greenleaf.
Greenleaf. Okay. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick Superior.
I think that most of these will be self-explanatory. I was just curious, but yeah,
I
that's
also
let's
I
have
also
that.
like was thinking about it when you talked about it earlier with the first three villages. I didn't want to say anything while you were going off,
Yeah.
but I'm like, isn't that just fire, water, grass?
I mean, Well, the next
Right.
character, that one is going to be what was the name of this character? That was Motochika of Fontaine.
Dude needs a shirt, first of all. Less bling, alright? Motochika does not sound like it's a thriving place. I feel like you're wasting a lot of the economy here on flashy bling, but
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say he has Samurott.
Okay, we'll put Samurott right over here. Okay, next up, this character over here, what was their name? That is let's see, Ginchio of Violite.
Violite. Okay, and what are my options?
Let me zoom out.
Violite. For now, I'm gonna say Luxray.
Gonna say Luxray, okay.
Yeah.
Throw Luxray right over here. And so up next we have Yoshimoto of Cresselia.
Of Cresselia.
Cresselia. So Chryssalia. Cresselia.
Okay. Zoom out, please. Cresselia. Interesting. Because like for a lot of these, I can like I know where some are like going to like the bottom two like for sure. I'm like I know exactly which Pokemon they get.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's some that are very obvious. I feel like that most of them, when you see, you're like, oh, I get it now. But there's a lot of them that are pretty obvious here.
can I switch my answers later as we go
Yeah,
on?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So for right now, I'm gonna say Gigalith.
Gigalith, okay.
Yeah,
So we'll put Gigalith right over here.
yeah.
Next up, that's gonna be let's see. So we did Yoshimoto. So this is Yoshihiro of Pugilist.
Pugilist. Okay, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Conkeldurr.
Okay. Do you have a reason? Just cause?
Just pugilist is like, what do you call it? Pugilist is a word. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the
All right.
connotation of fighting.
Right. Okay. So next up, this character over here, what is their name? That is Kenshin of Terrera.
Kench Terrera. Okay, zoom out, please.
Or so actually, I think that's
Ah,
Shingen. That's Shingen of Lucio, I think.
Lucio. Okay, yeah. I think this one might have been a little bit spoiled. I think I've seen that guy, but
Mm-hmm.
this is like from archival footage of
Mm-hmm.
my brain years ago,
The archive.
and I'm gonna
It's never
say he
wrong.
has Mewtwo.
Okay, you think Mewtwo?
Yeah.
Cool. So that over here. And then this one, I believe, is Kenshin of Terrera.
That's Groudon. I mean, just the outfit itself,
Nah, I don't know. Maybe it might be Kyogre.
right?
Okay, so now we're going over to let's see. That is Ujiyasu or Ujiyasu of Kragsburr.
Cragspur. Okay, switching it up.
Okay.
Switching it up. Give Gigalith to that guy and
Okay.
Fortress to that dude. The
Okay.
one we just took Gigalith from.
Okay. So switch it over
Okay.
with Yoshimoto, I think was that character's name? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Yoshimoto. Okay. So
Yoshimoto. Okay.
now we got Masamune of Avia.
Masamune. I'm gonna give him Braviary.
Braviary. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next up, that is, I believe that's Nene of Viperia.
That's Patrick's Ninja GF, and I'm pretty sure she gets Crobat.
Okay. So next up is going to be Kotaro of Yaksha.
Okay. Edgelord gets Zoroark.
Okay.
Magic Bay. How does this go?
Her name
What's
is
her name?
No of Spectra.
No. Okay. No means no. That's very, very.
It's like no with like a line across or on top of the O. No.
So no.
No.
It's a very emphasized no.
No.
Miss Magius.
Okay. Miss Magius. Okay. So next up after no is Ieyasu of Valora.
I'm gonna say Reggie Steele.
Reggie Seal. Okay. And after that is going to be Mitsuhide of Nixdom. So we only have two options left. So it's either Articuno or Zekrom.
I'm gonna say Articuno.
Okay, and then you think Nobunaga has Zekrom?
I know Nobunaga has Zekrom because I believe it's in the art, like the art for the box.
Okay, so this is what we have for the answers right now. And so I'm
feeling
gonna
pretty confident.
okay, you gonna lock in your answers?
I'm gonna lock it all in. I feel like everything is lined up exactly where I wanted it to.
Okay. So,
The only one I was having conflict with was with the dude with the fans.
mhm,
But once I was like Cragspur, I was like, oh yeah.
cool. So,
Also, okay, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's up with the where the fuck's ground? But I was like, oh, the
Groudon.
dude on the bottom has
Yeah,
ground on. Okay,
Terrera.
but I'm also like, okay, so like the first six on the left or the first five on the left all have like regular Pokemon,
Hmm.
and then like all on the bottom is straight up legendaries.
Yeah, that's true. So, let's go to the complete file.
Okay, drum roll please.
Once it loads, give me a moment. Just gotta wait for my
How
app to.
about no?
I think my hard drive is just taking a little while to think. Hold on. Give it a moment. Hold up. Let it cook. Let it cook.
I feel like I've done well. I feel like I got it. Like I knocked it out of the park.
And you did. Totally
Okay,
knocked it out. Nailed it.
nailed it. All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, so if you want to compare,
perfect.
yeah, Bono got a perfect score. As expected, the archive noticed no bounds.
I've studied game design. All right, I've studied
Yeah.
game design.
It's
I took one
pretty
course.
it's pretty obvious though. It's pretty obvious. Like when you look at like I mean obviously a Greenleaf or whatever, like you can match the colors to the characters. But like if you look at
Right.
over here like Masamune, he has like the ruffles and the feathers and stuff. So that
That
can
was yeah,
match the
that was the dead
braviary.
giveaway for that one.
Yeah, or like this one, it's like obvious with
I
Zoroark.
will say the dude with the fortress is
Yeah.
very obtuse. That
Which
was the one I was confused on the
here's
most.
I think the giveaway on that one. Now looking at it when I'm reading the characters, Cresselia. So think about it, like
Like
Chryssalia. That's like
chrysalis.
Chrysalis, exactly. Then
Yeah,
there's
but if
some that
you
are
had
like,
given
yeah,
yeah, if you'd given it to me without like the places names like Ignis and Pugilist, like I would
hmm,
have had a hard. I think I would have had a harder time.
yeah. I think Ignis was the one that revealed to me about the Master Dex challenge, Lord Ignis.
Lord Ignis.
Yeah, but then like there's like other characters, like obviously like this one over here, Pugilist. You totally got that one, like right, nailed it. Or this one had like almost like the Mewtwo ears. I feel like,
Mm.
and
Yeah, that one I would have probably struggled on if I didn't
yeah.
like remember that he had Mewtwo.
Like Elusio, Illusion. Like I feel like that could have worked, or Terrera, and obviously like it looks exactly like a fucking Groudon. So
Right.
yeah, uh, yeah. There's a lot of them that are pretty dead giveaways. I don't remember if these characters were made just for Pokemon Conquest. I can believe it, except for obviously Nobunaga. That's already been a
I
character.
know Ieyasu is also like a historical thing. I don't know which one of them that one is, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, Bono totally just got that one perfect,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
I also I'll save that for after the stream's over, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, I don't really know how much else we could say about this one. I mean, it's fun. It's like definitely look at it or play it if you get a chance to play it. I mean, kind of expensive right now, but that's just how Pokemon DS games are these days. But I mean, if you
Right.
get an opportunity to play it, I would very much recommend it, especially for those that like strategy games. You'll probably have a good time with it. Yeah. So unless there's anything else we need to say about this, I think that's pretty much it. And this one might be one of our shortest episodes ever. So, but that's not to
Nice.
say it's bad. It's not to say it's bad. It's just that we don't really have much to say about it. It's a strategy game.
Right.
So, thank you all for watching, for listening, and all that. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the subscribe button or let us know in the comments. If you played Pokemon Conquest, what'd you think about this? Like, what'd you think about the game? How'd you enjoy it or not enjoyed it? And yeah, every 2 weeks we're putting out episodes for Babblers. If you want to see the next one, I mean, hit the bell so that way you get notified when they come out. We've also both been streaming a lot lately, so if you want to check those out, both of our Twitch channels will be linked in the description. But until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Later.
Bye guys.